Should be on there.
Yep.
Audio. Audio. Turn your audio down. I'll wait and see if this will work too.
We have 3 people in here.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Everyone hear us all right? I hope not.
It stopped. Buffering.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. If you can hear us, you can raise your hand or tell us. It's our first live stream in a while. And so we're having some technical difficulties,
Trying to get the bugs out.
which is typical for people who have not been on live streams in a while. Is it working now? Yep. Okay. Good. So we'll see how this does. Try and bring this up where I can hear or read comments from people. I hope everyone's doing good today. Hope you're having a good Sunday. How's your week going? No comments yet?
No.
All right.
No comments. It says 3 people.
Cool.
So I think it's just me and you and you.
All right. Well, that's fine. We'll just talk between the 3 of us then. Well, I saw we had 4 a second ago, so.
I don't know who that was, so.
It's all good.
They didn't say or comment.
So we are testing out our new this is actually part of the cabin that you've seen us build for the last, well, it's been not quite 2 years. Well, we did start on it 2 years ago. All right. So we started on it in spring 2024. And we worked on it from spring of 2024 until the fall of 2024. And, we were able to get a lot done in about 6 months worth of time from about about February, April until October.
Right.
We worked on it and managed to make a lot of progress, did really good work, had good, good effort, putting walls up, foundation, floors, all the kind of good stuff. And then, of course, we had a lot of stuff that began to happen in a very short period of time.
My mother got sick.
Yes, your mom got sick. That was a big issue, a big deal for us. So that was one thing. And then
The weather.
The weather was a huge issue as well. So that was a factor. And then after all that, we had your stepdad moved in with us too.
Yeah.
So we had, of course, that. And then, I mean, it was just, again, it was like a series of events. It was like, one thing and then another. Like, it seemed to be going on and happening all at the same time.
When
And
it rains, it pours kind of thing.
yeah, I think that's true. That was the case for us, especially when it rained, it pours. And, um, we, we didn't, we didn't abandon the project.
Mm-mm.
It just had to go on the back burner for a while. And so we did what we had to do. We started in the addition, the side addition. So when we first started building this cabin, the original goal was just basically for it to be an office, a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen, basically kind of area. That's all it was going to be.
Right.
24 by 24. That's what we wanted it to start out being. And so we began like that, and that was, that was how it began. And then after, we started kind of walking down that path, we said, you know what, it would make sense for us to put a second level on there, for us to raise the second level up a little bit. So, we began to add a half level on the upstairs. And, we built some stairs leading up to it, and we basically did a whole second level, essentially like an elevated attic is all it was. We just took the attic space and turned it into a loft. And so we basically added about 4 or so feet, to the upstairs to raise the attic up another, about another 4.5, 5 feet roughly. And when we did that, it of course gave us the upstairs area, so where we can use for whatever we wanted to use it for. So that was kind of how it began, how we got to where we're at. So it's like this project that started out.
Gross.
Yeah. We were just out trying to get just really trying to get an office place for me to be able to work from. And then it kind of grew from there. So we ended up, going again, this area that you see right here, which is the office area. And then it went to, and, we had, of course, your father and your stepdad that moved in with us. And so we added on a space to the side, for him, a 16 by 24 apartment, basically, with a bedroom, a 3/4 bath, a kitchen area, living room area for him. So we started doing all that, and then now we're back over here.
Yes.
So that's been the last 2 years in about 2 or 3 minutes, basically what we've been going through.
On top of Alyssa being her senior year. And other, bumps and hiccups along the way in life.
Yep. So we had, of course, Alyssa, she graduated. Yes, congratulations to her.
Yes.
She graduated it was the end of May. So we drove all the way up to Searcy, here in Arkansas.
May 16th, I think.
Yep. So we went all the way up there, and we did that and got a chance to spend the day up there with her. Had a good time. It was good to see her, see her walk. And she also got an award there too.
For all her volunteer hours that she has done. She had the most volunteer hours.
So what they do is they have a male winner and a female winner. And so a guy won and she won. And what they do is they take all of their volunteer hours, their community service, all the things that they've been involved in. They can be church activities, stuff with the 4-H, that they do.
Her karate.
Right, her karate and, martial arts, her volunteerism there.
Over 600 hours.
It was hundreds, that we actually logged for her. And during that time period, she had done a lot of community
Bible
service.
School and youth camps that she helps run. Yeah.
Yep. So she did a lot with all these different activities and things. And then, like I said, a guy won. So a gentleman he got the award for the guys. She got it for the girls. And so basically that goes towards her college. And at this point now she has to go through and decide what she's going to do for college. And she's looking at potentially doing something in veterinary science is what she's thinking about. And that is still to be determined. It's not official yet.
But she is going through a program through 4-H.
So here in Arkansas, they have a program that allows you to basically get your veterinary assistance certification. And she is going to be working on that between now and the end of the year. She has about, I think it's all total about 400 hours that she has to do, and that is she's got to do things like all of these tests and online activities and things, and then she also has to go and sit with a vet and actually basically spend time going through all of that, all those activities too. So a lot of things that she has to do between now and the end of the year. It's going to be like a 400-hour program, and she's got about 6 months to get it done.
Yeah.
So she's going to have her hands, full between now and then.
See if this is what she wants to pursue, continue going into veterinarian science at all, period. Because she may see this like, hey, I like this, and I just don't want to move any further, and this is what I want to do. Maybe decide I want to do something else. But she has thought about a couple other things, too.
Right. Yeah, she has.
Dealing with big animals.
And she loves animals. She has a horse, and we did have a cow. Cow's in the freezer.
Camp. Tastes real good.
Yep. So we have that, but so we have of course goats. In fact, let's actually bring us up to updates here on the farm.
Yay!
So you want to talk about that?
Okay. We had a female goat that she was pregnant, and the past few weeks, we can tell that she was getting bigger and bigger. And I was like, yesterday, I was like, she's going to drop these babies. Yep, she is. I was like, I knew she was going to drop them. And there's been 9 times out of 10, I've been right whenever I knew our goats was going to drop that day. And well, she did. I was in and out of the house, keeping an eye on her and put her in her own little room, and I cleaned up her room and stayed in there. And I just went inside just for a little bit, and I turned around and went back out, and I heard a big sound, like that. I knew what that sound was. She just had them. So I ran over there, and she dropped 2 kids on the ground. And we have 2 boy goats. Yep. So
we thought, we saw that evidence that she was going to be heading into labor here recently, about a week ago.
Yeah.
It was whenever you came in, you said that I think she's going to be in labor any day now. And we've kind of been on kid watch for the last week anyways, and kind of anticipating it,
But I knew yesterday, I was like, she is going to drop those babies today. I know the way that she was pacing. She was rubbing her stomach against things. She kind of wanted to be away from everybody, but she wanted to be with me. And usually she likes people, but she doesn't want to come and be very social.
She's not a social goat.
And when she wants to be with me, that's more of a sign saying, hey, she was wanting to nest. That she found somewhere. She tried to get in the chicken house. I'm like, no. So I made the door smaller so she wouldn't get in there. And then then she can get underneath the goat house too. I kind of closed that door to keep her from going in there. And I was like, no, not the goat house, but underneath the chicken house. And so I'm like, nah, we got to put you in your little stall. That's where we stuck her, and that's why I was keeping an eye on her.
So that's been one thing that we're working on this week. Then, of course, that's not the only project for the week either.
No, I've been working in the garden. I've been doing a lot of weeding in the garden. Transplanting plants like tomatoes and other things. Some pumpkins that I had in some little sales that need to be transplanted, so I did that. I have some plants that half of them came up, or I transplanted them, half of them lived and half of them didn't, so I was going through and putting more seeds down. I was working on that, and then I was helping you in the blackberry patch too, doing some weeding and weaving the berries into the little wires that we have out there too. So yeah, we've been a little busy. Oh, and a friend of ours, or for mine, gave me like, I would say over $200 worth of plants.
Mm-hmm.
She gave us some peach trees. She gave us some thornless blackberry bushes.
Right.
She gave me probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different kind of plants. And, it's the kind that you plant it and you forget it. You don't have to continue, planting more. They kind of multiply every year. I've been so busy trying to actually grow food. I really haven't thought about any of actually kind of landscaping, making things look nice and pretty too.
Right.
And when she done that, that was a big blessing. I was like, hey, I can finally do what I want to do. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been working on my strawberry patch.
Right.
It has like morphed from a little thing like that to it's everywhere. And I'm going to have to transplant some more strawberry plants.
Yeah. We've been really working on trying this year to grow out a lot more with our food production.
Mm-hmm.
So the first few years that we were here on the property, we were basically in build mode exclusively with house and with the chicken coop and the goat shed or goat house rather.
Mm-hmm.
All of these different things that we've done, we were in constant build mode, building, doing, clearing land, dropping trees, repeat every single day. And that's pretty well been the last, about the last 5 years of our life has been spent in these areas. And one thing that we really have not been spending a lot of time in has been in food production. We had a garden last year. It was the first year we did a garden. We did containerized stuff, but an actual in-ground garden.
I did
last
a lot
year.
of zucchini and squash came out.
Mm-hmm. Zucchini, squash, some tomatoes, cucumbers.
My tomatoes I didn't, just a little
kale.
baby tomatoes.
Yep, kale. And then last year we planted about 50 blackberry plants too.
Mm-hmm.
And then between what we had at the end of the season, the various rootings that we did, some extra plants that I ordered, I think all total as of right now, we're around 75 in the ground. Blackberry plants. That's a pretty good number of blackberry plants, especially when you consider that each one can yield at full production around 10 pounds of berry. Now, they're not doing that right now, but maybe next year they'll be in pounds of blackberries next year, which will be good. I love blackberries. Which brings us to another point too. I did get to make a couple blackberry cobblers last week.
Yeah, she did. Me too.
Yeah, made 2 of those last week. Between what the same friend that gave her some plants also gave her, she let her pick some blackberries too.
She's like, hey, pick them out. I got a freezer full here. She's wanting me Monday to get some more picked if it's any available for me to come by.
So we have more to pick today from our blackberries. More there. They do grow wild around here too. The thorned varieties. Nothing wrong with those. They're good. But I did make a couple blackberry cobblers last week, which I love. It's one of my favorite things. If you heard me comment on any of the videos, I talk about the blackberries. It's one of my kind of like nostalgia moments for me, growing up as a kid. Spent a lot of time picking blackberries in the woods around my house with my grandmother and my sister and other people too. And that was a big deal to us. We'd go out there for hours trying to pick blackberries and end up with a container barely big enough to be able to make a good sized cobbler sometimes. But my grandmother would oftentimes, take that, and after we had enough of them, she'd make a blackberry cobbler. Mm-hmm. If they survived. If not, then we just ate them. But usually that we'd get enough of them. So I've been picking some of those, getting those into production a little bit heavier this year. We also ordered 50 Travelers, which is the Primark Traveler variety, and we've ordered some of those. We have those here to plant. Now we're getting a little late in the season to get those in the ground, but we were late in the season last year, truthfully. Mm-hmm. So we have to clear some more real estate, clear some more land, and unfortunately that means taking out the chainsaw and getting to work. Doing that. So we have that to do, and do some additional brush here there to get that area prepared. All goes well, continue growing out this season. I'd like to get a few hundred plants between propagations, what we have, any that we get. I'd like to get to that point so that they can continue to grow out, because in the future I would love to be able to have more of an abundance, of that particular crop. For us too, since they grow so well here naturally anyways. We might as well take advantage of that. But we've also been working to develop other areas and other things that we can potentially grow. So We have an area here beside the driveway that we're going to be working on putting in some peach trees. Yes.
I like peaches better than blackberries. Seed, like the blackberries, I like them, but they hurt my teeth. They get in my teeth. This little seeds do. But we have some blueberries we got to get in the ground too.
Yeah.
I started working on that, trying to figure that out the other night.
We have about 9 blueberry plants that need to go into the ground.
They're in big tub little things.
They're in containers already. So they're rooting. They're doing just fine. We have
a fig tree.
We
have a plum tree in the ground. The grapes died.
We do have one raspberry. I can't plant them around the blackberries. At least it's not really supposed to. One, I don't think it'll make much difference, but we do have one raspberry.
We can pick a spot somewhere.
Yeah, we can. Isolation. There's plenty of room.
And get some more raspberries and make a raspberry patch.
Yeah. So we're trying to grow out more of our food production this year. That's kind of one of our goals, is to get to the point to where we can. Because if anybody ever goes to the grocery store, you know as well as I do what that's like. I mean, you're basically dealing with constant, struggles on trying to be able to put food on the table. Everyone knows that. Food on the table is a big deal. And, it's something that we struggle with too, obviously, because it's expensive to go to the grocery store. Now, I'm not going to be really truthful honest with you. Sometimes growing your stuff is more reliable in some ways, at least. And if you get things going really well, you can certainly deflect enough cost to make it, where it's no longer cost prohibitive at least. And you don't always have to go through and do an in-ground garden. You can do containers. Container tomatoes will do just fine. And other, plants can do just as well in containers too. But growing more of our own produce this year has been one of the goals. And also something else too that we learned from whenever we grew blackberries in North Carolina. So we're originally from North Carolina. If you familiar with our history, you know that. Hello. So we are originally from North Carolina. We moved to Arkansas 5 years ago now. And one of the things that I did back during COVID, I wanted to plant blackberries there, and we didn't have plans of selling the house or moving at the time. We were just going to stay there. Long before this was, even a potential dream at the time. And I ordered some blackberries from Stark Nursery, and I got the plants in, and they were basically startings, about 3 or 4 inch tall plants in little small containers. And we got them in, about 48 of them roughly, and put in 4 rows of 12 blackberry plants. And we started them off. We did all the same treatment between them. I went through and I used the tiller that I had. I tilled up every single one of the rows.
And got the soil. Felt it.
Yes, my back felt it. It still feels it today.
Now you got big, strong Jonathan now.
Yeah, I just put him to work on it. And he complains about his back. But anyways, I went through, I tilled up all of those rows of, for blackberries, got them all ready. Went to the store, bought them. We got blackberries, trellised them up, the T-post, got everything ready and got them all on the ground. And they all did fine. We fertilized them exactly the same. I was using completely organic methods.
One trick that worked.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I was about. Don't get me ahead of me. So what we did, we fertilized them all the same. And I wanted to go completely as organic as we could be. That was the goal, was to try to keep it as organic as we could. So we used fish emulsion to fertilize all of them. And that stuff stinks if you don't know.
I use it.
Yeah, it stinks. You'll definitely tell when someone has used fish emulsion.
He's like,
you can tell it.
I got a gallon fixed on the porch right now.
You'll smell it. So we used it on all the plants, and it's a good organic fertilizer. It is. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it. We used it. But then we also, at the same time this project was going on, the 4-H
got their chickens.
Right. They got their broiler chickens in.
And they stink after a while.
They do stink after a while. Well, they're fine the first couple of weeks, but then they do start to have a little bit of an odor to them after that.
But they're meat birds.
So we grew them out, and we built 2 chicken tractors, I think.
3.
3 chicken. There's 3 chicken tractors we built.
Because we used one with the laying hens too.
Yeah, we built 3 chicken tractors, and these are just like sled style 4x8 chicken tractors. We took 2x4x8s, ripped them in half, and then basically made the frames for these. and put them all together. And they had the lids that would, that would raise and close on the top and everything. And we could just put the container of food or water in there. And you'd open up the door on the very top, and the chickens would try to jump out and everything else. And that happened on more than one occasion. But what we learned, though, is that if we ran them up and down the rows, okay, it would have a positive effect on blackberry. We just got concentration of the chickens going up and down. 3 rows actually were like going like gangbusters. I mean, just completely, just going really just crazy. And the 1 row over here on the right side, which didn't really get as much traffic, as much anyways, it was doing okay. But I looked at it one day. I'm walking up and down. I'm like, what is different?
The difference is because of how it rained. It went this way, and the rain, yeah.
So we had 1 row that the chicken tractors were not really, hitting as much, and then 3 rows that were getting hit on a daily basis because we were just going up and down through those areas with them. And that last one is like, I guess that explains it. That this row over here is not getting the chicken tractor traffic like the other ones are. And that was it. I mean, that was the only distinguishing difference. They both got, water the same. Obviously, whenever it rained, they were the same. The plants were basically the same. They were fertilized the same at the very beginning. I didn't do any additional fertilization or treatment. I mean, nothing was really different on that 1 row, but the other 3 rows, boom, it's like a little food forest going on through there, just
very
vines.
Dark and green.
Yeah, lush. And it's like, that was the only distinguishing difference between
them. We
them.
haven't done that yet here.
No, we want to try that here. That's one of the goals. So I believe in trying to create synergistic systems, not just grow blackberries. I want to grow a system. And so one of the things I like about the chickens is that they provide nutrients into the soil. Now, you don't
bugs.
They eat the bugs, exactly right. So they're helping to control those types of issues. They're also keeping down on weeds, keeping down the grass. So they're actually basically tilling up, mowing. They're doing all of that work through your blackberry rows. All you gotta do is spread the tractor. You can move them around to the next line. You can do that too. So you really don't even need 1 per row, depending on the length of the rows. You can do it, with just basically a couple chicken tractors could do, multiple rows of berries. And that actually might work out a little bit better in some cases. I don't know. But basically, you just complete the whole circuit, completely, just going all the way up and down. And then over time, of course, that builds, it gets more nutrients into the soil. The chickens, of course, are taking care of doing all your cleanup work, and then you're getting the benefit of all of your, all of these systems, if you will, working together with one another. So that is something that we really, really like too. So, just something to keep in mind there, anyways. Let's just check and see if we had any different, any new comments. Nope, just the one from earlier from walking in the light. Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, thank y'all for joining. So we appreciate that. So we, that was one of the things that we learned though by doing that was how to basically use the chickens with the blackberries as a system, essentially. And of course, obviously, the rows were getting some benefit too, with regard to water and things of that nature, a little bit more too. If we, where we were filling the waterers up and things of that nature too. So I'm sure there were some additional side little, auxiliary benefits that were, getting in there too. But we really, learned a lot that year from doing that project. And also at the same time, we ended up producing blackberries too that year, because the varieties that we often pick, I pick between 2 varieties, Primark Freedoms, and this year we've added Primark Travelers. And I could probably talk on this for hours. I'll just spend another minute. The difference is that cane bearing berry. So they grow the cane the very first year, and it flowers in the fall and produces berries. So you get berries, in some cases, not a lot, a few berries the very first year you plant the plant, depending on when you plant it. So if you plant it early in the spring, you're probably going to get a few berries come the fall. Not a lot, don't bank on it, but you'll get a few. But every year thereafter, the primocane, the first year growth, is going to produce flowers and fruit in the fall. That's not normal blackberry berry behavior. Normally, it doesn't happen until the next cycle,
All right.
the next season, whenever the primocane becomes the floricane, it flowers, and that's the year that it creates basically the berry, and that actually will, of course, will ripen and become the blackberry. Now, the second variety, so that's the Primark Freedoms. That was the first variety, or one of the first varieties that they actually created to do that. And it's a thornless variety. That's the key. This is a thornless variety. You don't have to worry about it.
Easier to be picked.
It does. It helps out a lot when it comes to picking. A little bit different with regard to like pests and predators and things of that nature, but still, for our purposes, a really good solution, a really good berry.
Right.
The other one is a Primark Traveler, and they recognize the Primark Freedoms, while they produce good fruit, it does not always stay ripe very well for very long. So you pick them on, Monday, and then maybe by Wednesday, they've already started to show signs, of potentially, not being quite as fresh.
All right.
So they developed a second variety called the Primark Traveler. And this is a variety that's basically designed to be packaged and shipped. So that's the kind that we wanted to experiment with this year. And that's the reason why we have the Traveler. In terms of berry production, per year, Primark Freedoms, that's about the upward, average on that. They can go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but 10 pounds is what they estimate, whereas the Traveler's are around 8 pounds per plant per year, around max production. So that's not what you get the first year. That's at max production after you've got multiple canes and multiple laterals that you've completely developed. So that's the difference in the two. And then there's another variety that I really would like to get on the property here at some point, and that is called Ponca. And that is it's not a primocane fruiting variety. It is a floricane fruiting variety. So it doesn't produce, flowers and buds the very first year, so you don't get any berries out of it. But from that point forward, of course, you would get your seasonal berries in the spring or early summer as you normally would. So it's kind of what we've been working on doing here, and where we're at right now. It's if you got questions about berries, go ahead and put them in the comments. With or gardening in general. Yeah, absolutely. We'd be glad to talk about those with you in any way.
I absolutely love gardening. I mean, that's my happy place. Whenever they see me, I'd be bopping up there and say, "I'm going to my happy place."
So she did spend some time with me this week, helping with berries, getting those situated. That was a bit of a chore because we had gotten behind on the weeding.
Because we've been so busy doing other things.
Yeah, like this, for example. So this has come together in the last month and a half. This room that we're in right now. We got walls and basically the closed-in electrical run, sanding, primering, painting, all that kind of good stuff complete in here, sealing.
Just some trim work.
So at this point right now, we're just down to the point just needing some trim work. So I put the boxing thing on the window yesterday, that done, and here till about 10 o'clock last night or 10:30 working, trying to get things done. We still got cleanup to do in here. Got our shelving, we found some bookcases and, for sale here locally and picked those up.
Unpacking some books.
Mm-hmm. So I've got part of my library, finally out of boxes, which I'm glad to see. We still have more books. This is only
books. Being a homeschooler too, I homeschooled our kids. I have a lot of educational books I've collected over at the library, especially like when they have their big sales and stuff, and they're like 25 cents a book, and it's educational. Or somebody knows, like, hey, I know you homeschool. Would you like to have this collection of historical books? Would you like to have this collection about animals? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they know I'm a homesteader. They send me books about gardening or anything too.
Yeah. So that's been going on this week. We've also been working in the bees a little bit too.
Yeah, you've been working in the bees.
Yep. So we did one thing that we wanted to do when we first got here on the property 5 years ago, of course, was to get where our apiary could get established. And I've kept bees now for 10 years plus. I don't even know how long.
Actually, I found a picture that I saw the very first time when Alyssa was inside the bee suit with you helping, and Jonathan. It's been 15.
How long?
It has been 15 years.
Wow, I didn't know it had been that long. You sure?
I feel sure that's what it was.
Can't be right.
Me and Alyssa was talking about it because they had the date stamped on it and everything.
Been a long time. I know that much.
She was in the little camo one
Yeah.
that it was just the top because she was so small. She was like this and Jonathan was like that.
Yeah. So I would say somewhere between maybe 13, 14 years is possible. I was starting into it in North Carolina, fascinated by bees, and I had wanted to keep bees and reached out to a friend of mine and her husband went to work. And so I went over there one day and helped them harvesting honey. And it's always a good time because you get to experience the harvest, and that's like the reward that comes at the end. It's kind of like, hey, here's the benefit of doing all the work.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, truthfully. And so I got into beekeeping, and over the time that we were out there, we had 2 hives, and we had at one point about 7 or 8 hives in North Carolina. And of course, where we were situated at, it's hard to keep bees. Mm-hmm. In some ways,
because there's too many pools around.
There were lots of swimming pools around there. There were lots of swimming pools around us.
That would kill the bees.
Yeah, that was a problem. So, and I didn't realize, all these various threats and issues that we had to deal with. And so didn't work too well for me where we were situated at. And when I say there was like pools around, something like I could see the neighbor's pool through the woods. That's how close it was. Had no idea about. I'm sure they probably were getting hit by the bees too. I didn't even realize that at the time, the issues that go along with these things. I had no clue because I was a new beekeeper. I was inexperienced. But after a while, I kind of gave up. But we did get a couple the last year. We had a couple that were still active when we moved out here in 2021.
Yep.
Brought them both with us, and then over the course of the next 6 or 8 months, we went from 2 to 1, and we had one that overwintered. And that year, we got some more nukes and kind of grew things out. So we were back up again, and then we started getting hit with bears.
Yeah.
That was a major problem.
Yes.
I mean,
it was actually took the hive and dragged it. It has claw marks and teeth marks inside that plastic one. I don't know the name of them are.
The Apimae.
Yeah, there's teeth marks and bite marks that's on them.
Yeah.
And he was even attacking the hoop.
Several years, actually. And mostly because of bear pressures and bear threats, we actually ended up losing all of our hives in the end. All of our hives did not, they could not survive. And it wasn't just the bear itself, like destroying the hive. The bear would attack the hive and the hive would get weak, and the numbers were not strong enough for the colony to overwinter. Yeah. And so you may not lose the colony in the fall, but it can't make it to spring.
All right.
So you still lose it, and that was the catalyst. That was still what happened. And we reached out to various, resources here in Arkansas, and there were no resources that were willing to help.
We live so close to the national forest that there ain't nothing they can do.
So we were kind of on our own, and we've dealt with the problem, several years. I won't say we become experts because we haven't. There's still, we still deal with the issues related to them. And we did not keep bears. We did not keep bees or bears last year. No. So we've gone, and we didn't really see the bear for a long time either. And then about a month ago, I guess it was, a little less than a month ago, I came home one day. I'd gone to town, came back, had to run an errand, and when I got back.
Uh-oh. Sounds like his phone's ringing.
Hold on. It says we're still live.
Yeah, we're live still.
Oh, sorry about that.
Probably should have put it on mute.
Yep, I should have. I didn't realize that was an issue.
Or something.
Yeah, I didn't even know it would do that during live. I've never seen that
online.
Yeah, didn't do that. Sorry about that, folks. Somebody calling. Anyways, so we came home one day, and I noticed that the colony that I had just that we had been growing out for the last month or two at the time.
It was the 1st of May when it happened.
We noticed then that the hive was turned on its side, and it gotten completely twisted, turned upside down, like that doesn't happen on its own. And later that evening or the following evening, we went outside and saw a bear. Actually, Jonathan was the one who saw it. He was walking one of the dogs, and they were up towards the road, which is where this case here, the colony is at. They got hit, and he saw it stand up. And when it stood up, he noticed what it was at the time. So since then, we have seen him several times. Yeah, we've seen him several times since then. And he's probably been around more too. And I was watching Jen and Wiley's their live stream, Our Mountain Home. I was watching theirs, one of their videos here recently, rather. And they were talking about the security camera video is what it was.
And the dog.
And so, yeah, they've been hearing some sounds, and dogs have been kind of going crazy at night and everything else. So, yeah, there is that. So we've experienced bear pressures for the last 5 years off and on.
Then we have a neighbor who ate all his peaches.
Yeah. So that's true. One of our neighbors, peach tree, he went out there one day and it was loaded with peaches, and he's like, I need to pick all those peaches and get them, frozen in the freezer or whatever, or eaten or whatever. And he goes the next day and they're all gone. Mm-hmm. All of them.
Then he was telling us a story about a neighbor lives right down the road. He had a pig that went inside the barn and picked up the pig and all off basically.
Took years on and off. And against bears. I don't have anything against nature in general. In nature's nature.
My stuff alone.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like it's just you stay over there, we stay over here, but it doesn't work that way. We know that. So we tried to do what we can. Anyway, so I will have a bees, basically back to bees. I will have a bee video coming out tomorrow, which will be Monday, that will be talking about, the hives. I'll be doing a hive inspection. So if you're interested in beekeeping, that's one to pay attention to. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. We'll be walking through hive inspections. We actually had, some mixed results. I've got 3 hives. They're doing really excellent. And I have one that's doing decent and one that's not doing so great. We did have a 6th hive that was doing really weak, and I literally went outside 2 or 3 hours after I had inspected it, and they were gone. Mm-hmm. They had completely absconded. And the thing was, I had found the queen. I had found, that they had numbers and all, but I guess just the added stress of me going in and doing the inspection alone was enough for them to leave. And I was kind of surprised by that one, because I'd come back up there and I thought for sure I'd be able to maybe, salvage the hive, and didn't
give
happen.
them some feed or something like that. Then they should be able to do fine, but that didn't work out that way at all.
It didn't. So anyways, we've, we had to deal with that. And so there's been lots of different things that we've been working on, trying to get done over the course of last week, and new videos, of course, that'll be coming out in the week ahead, where we'll be talking about some of these things, such as the bears, of course, such as the guarding. We'll be talking about the blackberries, of course. We have coming on this week. There. What else are we doing? They do a video on recently. I can't recall at the moment, but
I got a little bacon one that's coming out. I just haven't added it, so I'll just leave it as a surprise and just let y'all see what it's about. So
if you haven't, if you've been following along, you know that we have been trying our best to go through and keep a little bit more, more of our content kind of flowing again. There for a while, we were putting out videos quite, frequently, and then for the last couple of years, it's kind of been, popcorn here or there, a little bit, here and there. But we have been trying our best to get to where we can actually create a little bit more content. Now we have at least this room of the cabin done. It does help. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of my video editing in here, and that's been a huge factor. Well, I do all my editing on the phone. Mm-hmm. He does his on the computer, so you can probably tell the difference between who's edited. Usually if it's anything about bees, it's always him. Yeah, these are mine. I'll record this stuff on my phone, but then whatever I'm doing, I record whatever he does or record. And sometimes I record stuff that he's doing too, but it's just like what I have on my phone, I edit. What he does, he edits. Yeah. So we do those types of things, but we've we're going to be trying to get a little more of an extra like a structured format to where Mondays are kind of reserved for like bees, We'll do things with regard to like bee, activities and such, bee hive inspections, whether it's installations or splits, whatever that we're kind of working through. Mondays are kind of be the day for that. Tuesdays, kind of like where we pull stuff from the vault, what I call like a throwback kind of Tuesday, where we just go through and put something on there that's maybe from a project that we did with the kids whenever they were younger. Stuff like that. Wednesday, really more of the farming and agricultural stuff. Thursday, we want to kind of keep that reserved for any cabin build projects. Rock. We will be doing one here soon. I do have one recorded. I forgot where I was doing the foam installation for the upstairs. So that'll be coming out soon. I'm also going to go through and tell you a little bit about what all happened with that. That's a very long, drawn out process with the manufacturer on that, where they shipped in the foam and they didn't ship all they were supposed to. But I will leave that one for that video. And then let's see here. Friday, I'm trying to remember what I said for Friday, but Saturday is going to kind of be an inspirational, type of event for Saturdays. So basically, kind of like just a chat time or just a discussion.
Friday was supposed to be like a product review or something.
That's
like
it.
that.
Thank you. That's right. So Friday's going to be like for product reviews. So basically, I would like to get the point to where we can go through and have something on here for you, like on Fridays, so that if you want to know about homesteading related products, and things that could potentially help you on a homestead or that are relevant to homesteading, I would like to be able to offer those to you on Fridays. To where every Friday, hey, Michael's going to be recording, Homesteading Outlaws will be recording and putting up something else. It may not be me necessarily doing the product review. It could be Angela. It could be Alyssa.
Maybe even items that we've had for a long time that we just want to talk about and say, hey, we really like using this item and it's helped us out a lot.
Sure. Something along those lines we would like to do, if at all possible, for you, and keep that kind of to Fridays, so that you will know that that's the kind of the cadence and the actual lineup anyways. So, and then Saturday will be kind of like an inspirational type of a day where we just kind of deal with whatever is relevant, kind of things.
Well, we still want to go out to the community, and we still want to go do some day trips and stuff like that. We have one planned kind of.
We do.
We have some
are either low or no cost. I have a lot of resources on the financial side right now.
Or that may be a way that you can get
potentially
your way to get things.
So we're going to talk about a little bit about those types of activities. We'll be going to Mount Magazine, to the state park there, here soon, showing you the various hiking trails and things that are available to you if you were to visit this area. Because people don't really think about it. It's like Boonville's a very interesting area. It's a very beautiful area, but people, whenever we talk to people, like, where are y'all originally from? And we tell them, like, well, how did you end up in Boonville?
And so you just
and it's like, well, do you really not, appreciate the beautiful area that you live in? And I don't think everyone necessarily does. And I get that. I really do, because it's like, you're
places. Why here?
Yeah. Well, it's like wherever you live, whenever you go on vacation, you always vacation somewhere other than you live, or at least you usually do anyways.
Yeah.
So I get that. I really do. But this area has really got a lot of natural beauty. Arkansas is called the natural state.
It's an outdoorsy place.
It is.
And we are outdoorsy people.
Sure. So there is, of course, the Ouachita National Forest, which is at our back door, like below us, to the south of us, within 15, not even 15 minutes, 10 minutes you can be there. 15 if you drive like Miss Daisy. But 10 minutes, if you drive normal. The Mount Magazine State Park, it's a little bit further.
It's about 30.
Yeah, about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes from here, roughly, give or take. Depending, on how you drive.
Depends on if you get behind a tractor.
Yes, it does. So 40 minutes tops, you could be to the top of Mount Magazine, and be able to enjoy all the trails that are through there. And that's just two of the attractions. Of course, there's lots of other places here to go in Arkansas, and we're going to talk through some of those. Do I want to know?
Yes, that's my husband.
Yeah.
We've been together since I was 16.
Yeah, so a long time.
We've been married, how many years?
This December will be 27 years.
But we've been together a total of
almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. This, well, technically 29 right now. We'll be 30 next February.
Yep. So
So
we've been together for a long time.
yeah, almost 3 decades, full decades.
Everybody says we look young for our age.
Yeah, I'm 81, and that's,
You're not.
I feel 81. Does that count?
You're older than me.
Yes, I am. We already knew that. I'm 81.
I know he looks young. I know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good genetics. Yes.
Yeah, folks, I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 this November. Just be real. Be kind. So I'll be 50 this November. That's hard
He's
for me to
just
believe.
4 years older than me.
Yeah. So I'm 49 right now. And
We're both in our 40s.
yep. So we stay active. I mean, we try to at least. I do feel the age sometimes more than others.
Alyssa, she's 18.
So this is 18 now.
Jonathan's 16.
Yep. He's got a few more years left, before he finishes up school. But he'll be finishing up here in just a few more years. And then, of course, we have, let's see here, all the other kids at church that we also,
Okay. Because I'm Mama Bear.
That's right. She's Mama Bear to them.
Yes, because I usually help with the youth a lot within the community. I usually actually don't want to go to vacation Bible school or we're having youth camp.
Mm-hmm.
Will you please come and help? I know you're really good with the kids. I know you have the heart and the passion for it, and I know you can run a camp like a boot camp, but with that mama's love.
Yeah.
And so they always, reach out to me. So right now we got a few on the books that's coming up, and the kids look forward to helping with those too and doing them. Alyssa loves it. Jonathan loves helping. But Jonathan's not old enough to be a camp leader, but they call him LIT, which is a leader and training program, which is, helps them get them ready to be a full-fledged leader. But Alyssa, she's a full-fledged leader.
Mm-hmm.
So that's this touty as we do in the churches and the communities around here. So everybody's always reaching out to me. Can you help me with this and help me with that? It's like I went to the River Valley Amplified that was in Charleston. I helped with Jen. I went with Jen and Wiley, and we gave out like over 700 hot dogs to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an awesome time of reaching out to those and telling everybody about the love of Jesus Christ. And, that needs to know that Jesus loves them, and, they need to accept Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I've earned Mama Bear. That's something I've always been called. A lot of the kids call me.
We use. I mean, it's kind of funny because here on the property too, we use these bear nicknames too, because of the bear issues that we had for the longest time. One day I just started calling the kids, the cubs. I'm like, I was trying to reach them on the radio. We use these around the property to communicate. These are Baofeng UV5Rs. We do have a GMRS license to use them. So, and I also have a ham radio license too. I have a technician plus license.
Jasper. Yeah, I know there's a Jasper. No.
Yeah, in the city, Jasper. I'm not familiar. I mean, I kind of know about it, but no, I don't. We haven't been there yet. At least, if that's what you're asking, no, we haven't been there yet. But if there's something that you would recommend for us to check out there, please let us know, because we would absolutely, by all means, if you got spots here in Arkansas that are in the western half of Arkansas, like west of Conway specifically, we would really love to be able to visit those. I'm not saying I'm against going east in Arkansas. It's just obviously the longer the drive. I mean, we have to drive back. So one thing about having a homestead is we have to be back the same day. We don't get to do any overnight trips, at least not as a family, really, anyways.
Because somebody has to take care of all the animals.
Yeah, we have chickens, ducks, dogs, a horse, and
Cats, and a partridge and a pear tree.
Yes, so
keep on going.
We have to, so wherever we go to, we've got to be back in the same day. That's the only caveat there. So we don't take a lot of, beyond just day trips anyways. Now, with that said, we have gone away from here. I mean, y'all have gone to camp multiple times, left me here by myself, to do all the chores. But I've gone to North Carolina a few times for work in the past, as well as to whenever we were moving back and forth to be able to get stuff back. So, But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the bear nicknames. So I started calling them, the Cubs one day, and it's like, okay, well, I guess we got, Alyssa, we got, basically her nickname, and Jonathan's got a nickname. Well, hers became Mama Bear, mine became Papa Bear. So that's the reason why we kind of got the nicknames that we did on here too. So even before you were actually using these nicknames, outside of here, she was getting called Mama Bear here, and I was getting called Papa Bear here on the radio, for communication. Just a little bit easier to say that. Say
On the radio too.
there are. So, I mean, we're not. It's not like we're using some super secret naming convention. It just, obviously, you don't know whenever you hit that transmit.
People around here rides four-wheelers, and they go four-wheeling around here in boats.
Yes, they do.
Because the lake's not far from here too.
Yeah.
So I mean that you hear them, and also the wild fish and game, we can hear them sometimes on them.
So we have a base station version of one of these, and it's actually just a GMRS version in the house that we use, and it does have a little higher wattage. So it's able to transmit a little bit further, and it's hooked up to a larger antenna. So we're able to kind of push signal out all over the property just fine. In fact, we've actually been able to communicate as far away as Magazine from where we live. So that's line of sight several miles, and be able to, to get clear communication back and forth between these and the base station. So it's capable. And in the future, I'm planning on hooking up. So the upstairs here is going to have a balcony in the future. It's just got kind of like at this point, a nice big porch.
I haven't heard of that.
A big porch. Let me get my readers on.
I'll read it to you.
Oh.
Have you heard of the Return to Land North Arkansas? It's a Christian-based group.
I have not. I've heard of several groups in that area that I think, anyways, that are doing different projects up there. Some of them have kind of like gotten some media attention, positively and negatively, for various reasons. I don't know if it's it all. I'm not in any way saying either way. I'm just saying I've heard some various some various millions of talkings about that, but not that particular one. No, I've heard of different ones in North Arkansas though that are doing those types of projects. It's not around homesteaders around this area.
Yeah, a lot of
homesteaders. A lot of
homesteaders. And a lot of YouTubers.
And there's you can't throw a rock around here at this point without hitting a YouTube channel. It's from where we're at.
It's not far from us.
Jen and Wiley, they're not far from us. You've got a few other ones. Yeah, he's a little further out, but he's over in the Russellville area. There's quite a few of the various YouTube channels around here, which we didn't know when we first moved out here, and some of these actually popped up afterwards. That was the funny thing too. We were when we first came out here, we couldn't do a YouTube channel very well. We had one, but we couldn't do it very well because we had no real cell reception even here on the property. If we don't have internet, we can't even make phone calls very well sometimes. We can if you stand in the right spot, stand on one leg and hold your arm out just right. You can get cell signal in some spots. Other areas you can't even do that. So, but let's see here. You must be American or European. So it said.
It says, so I've got a good buddy that lives there.
Okay.
Must be American or European.
I am. I won't say I'm European. I'm definitely not American. Yes, I am. But
both are.
I've got mixed ancestry. As far as that goes. I've got some Native American ancestry. Some European. Ancestry. I did a thing on Ancestry.com about 10 years ago, I guess. Where I was able to go through and actually at least go through one of my lineages anyways, going all the way back into England, which is really fascinating because I got to see that I had some ancestors.
Oh, he says no to join the group. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Either way, I do have European American ancestry. We'll just say that, or but also some Native American ancestry too, that's in there as well. So that they might not like that too well. I don't know, but But anyways, obviously no one can see my Native American ancestry and they look at me, they just see a white guy. That's just, that's,
I tan better than
you do, which is crazy because my dad is actually, he's Native American or mostly Native American, and somehow she's the one who gets to the nice.
I haven't been out
She
in the
tans
sun
really
really
nice.
much neither
Makes me mad.
right now. And if I would have been out more than I wanted, actually, like I would like to be in,
Yeah.
but I haven't because I had surgery, so I've been haven't been out like I normally would. I would have been probably 3 or 4 shades darker now.
Yeah, she tans really easily.
Jonathan, he's dark.
Yeah, he does. He tans really easily.
He gets that from me.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing in the world. I don't tan worth anything.
Neither does your daughter. She burns.
So she burns. She's worse than I am, I think, on some of the burning. But she does actually tan decently after a while. But
it takes a lot.
All right. Well, we're actually at our time right now, anyways, because it is now 5 p.m. here on the in the Central Daylight Time Zone here in the U.S. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to pass the torch along to whoever else is next in the lineup for today. I don't know where else y'all, whoever you're going to be visiting.
So. Dreams goes live today, and I think his is later on this.
Yeah, I don't know on that one, but I want to thank everyone for coming and dropping in. By all means, thank you very much for your wonderful comments and questions and ideas and things. Thank you. Then again, just be sure to join us next week. We're going to try to make Sundays kind of the 4 p.m. Central Time Zone, our time slot. I'm not saying it's definitive in the sense that if there's something that comes up that we can't be fluid, we can. But this is kind of what we're settling on just because it fits our schedule. But
you're welcome.
thank you for, again, if you got questions, comments, let us know. Give us a like if you can real quick. That would really help us out too, because this YouTube algorithm is obviously not our friend. Whenever
and we are on Facebook.
We do have Facebook. We have an Instagram, but we don't really use it. Or TikTok, and we don't really use it. But if you need to send us an email, homesteadingoutlaws@gmail.com. The information should be below.
A P.O. box.
We do. So P.O. Box 5 in Boonville, Arkansas, 72927. So thank y'all very much. Appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful day and God bless.
Thank you and God bless.
Let me go ahead and hit the button.
Go hit the button.
I'll hit the button.
Go hit the button.
Hit the button.
Oh.